me, Nemuri. Today I'm gonna learn how to make a game using Godot. So, what I will be doing today is I'll make like a horror game. What do you guys think? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be awesome? Hold on. Let me open Godot. So I'll make a new game, I guess. Silly horror. Silly. So, I guess I'm going to show you my full background and my full display. I hope I won't accidentally show something bad though. Let me check real quick. I'm gonna show Miku kissing wallpaper. Hell yeah. Hi, pokers! So look at this, chat. I'm gonna make a 3D game. Ta-da! You see this? So what we'll do, I have no idea what to do. I'm just gonna stare blankly at this until I figure it out. But there are tutorials in the online tutorials that are found online. I've been looking up Godot stuff. Let's look at YouTube. Anyway, Godot. Oh shoot! How to make... Oh shit, I'm so bad at horror games. How to make a first-person horror game. Oh. Can we make it? Oh, this is interesting. I can make something like this maybe. Okay, I want to make a horror game, but it's, I'm scared. Which tutorial should I follow? I guess so. Better one would be Godot 4. If there, these are Godot 4. What about something that's a bit like up to date? That the horror game? Uh, Something more recent. I think this is 2 years ago. This is like 4 months ago. See a backroom style horror game. 4.5. I'm using 4.6 right now. Oh, Ghost Concert. Dude, this anime is quite fun. I've been watching this anime. It's very interesting.
Quiet. Too quiet. Before we can scare the player, we have to be the player. Today we are building a found-footage FPS controller from scratch in Godot 4.5. Welcome back to Godot Dev Checkpoint. We're starting a brand new series, a backroom-style walking sim. The short-form horror genre that dominated the scene when it arrived back in 2019. It succeeds because you don't need complex AI, you just need atmosphere. In this first video, we're
Oh, so there's no mob here. I want something that has like something maybe um chasing you. This one's 2 months ago.
Hello everyone, welcome to a new tutorial series where we will be making a PS1 style horror game set in a night shift at a gas station. For this series, we'll be making a player controller, tasks, NPCs, cutscenes, and chase
Happy
sequences.
birthday,
But
Daniel.
for
Who's
today's
Daniel?
video,
Make
we will
Ultra
be
Kill?
making a simple player controller and a box that the player can carry around. So,
A
as you can see,
box.
we have some folders here. We have scenes with interactables, player, and world. I have a separate folder for scripts, but this is totally optional. So we'll go ahead to
Interactables. The hell's
project settings,
interactables?
and we're going to go into input map.
An aura monster? Okay, this is like the thing. We're gonna make folders. Scenes, scripts, and then
We're going to add two new actions. So it will be interact and hold interact. For hold or doing actions such as mopping a floor.
interactables. I'm
So
not.
for right now,
I'm
we
so.
can just close this off. And we'll go ahead and add a 3D scene. We'll name this to world. And we want to have some kind of floor that the player can walk on. So let's go ahead and add a static body. I'm going to add a static body. And you're going to notice we need a collision shape.
It makes sense. Okay.
So let's go ahead and add a
What type
collision
of
shape.
game? We're gonna make a horror
We'll go
game.
to shape.
So I think that make a scene here. I think scene 3D scene. World. Wardo. Run away from the IRS simulator. That. Well, what if we make like the a maze type? Oh wait. Godot can make horror game? Oh, Godot is a game engine. You can make anything. You can make any kinds of games, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And add in a box shape. And
Oh yeah, static body. And collision. And a box shape. Da-da-da, look. Ta-da!
And we'll want to also add a mesh instance. And this will allow us to have some kind of visual representation for our floor. So we can go ahead and, there it is. We can add in this box mesh. And so we'll also want to set it to be bigger. I'm going to
Oh my god, we made a box!
visual representation for our floor. So we can go ahead, box mesh. And so we'll also want to set it to be bigger. I'm going to set it 20 by 20.
Okay, where do I find the size? I don't see the size. Transform? No, it's not transform. Skellington. Oh, there. He made a tower defense game. A photo of you? Can I see a photo of you? You're Asian, right?
20 on the X,
You're
and 20
probably.
on
Do you
the
look
axis.
Chinese? Oh shoot, 20. Hell yeah, baby.
And I'll add in here for the collisions as well. And we are set.
We are set.
So we can also add in a world environment. And we'll create here a new world environment. And we can set here our background. I'll just set it as a black color. And then we'll add in,
What did he
I'll
do?
just set it as a,
Custom color.
and
Environment. Background. Custom color. Black color.
we can
Hey!
set here our
Whoa,
background.
animation! That's so
I'll
cool,
just set it as a
Pokers.
black color.
Congrats!
And then we'll add in a directional light 3D. We will be configuring all this stuff in the next episode when we add in our models.
Hell
And we'll want to
yeah.
set our ambience. But for right now, this is good enough to see where our player is. So we can save this. I hit Control Shift S. And we can go under Scenes, World. And I'm going to name this as world.ts. We can save this.
How they move? How, how they move the camera? Oh shoot! I don't know how they move. Oh! What have I done? How do I switch perspective? I'm so lost. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, we're learning.
I hit Control Shift S. And we can go under Scenes, World. And I'm going to name this as world.tscn. So let's go ahead and create our player controller. We're going to click New Scene, and we're going to do Other Node, and we'll want to add a character body 3D. And we'll just name this to Player. Click here again,
Oh shoot.
and we're going to add a collision shape. For the shape specifically, we'll want a capsule shape. And the reasoning behind that is because when we add in our own models and we give them collisions, most of them are going to have very hard square edges. And so this round shape here is going to allow us to just smoothly walk over without any problems. So allow us to just smoothly walk over when we give them collisions. The reasoning for the shape specifically, we'll want a capsule shape. And the reasoning
Capsule shape.
behind that is because when we add in our own models and we give them collisions, most of them are going to have very hard square edges. And so this round shape here is going to allow us to just smoothly walk over without any problems. So I'll have this here, and we'll also add in a camera 3D. And this camera will also add without any problems. So I'll have this here, and we'll also add in a camera 3D. And this camera 3D can be brought up a little bit, and we can just push it out a little more. And that'll just act as the vision for our player.
What the hell? I'm so. Okay. This will be the vision for the player.
And lastly, let's add in a raycast. Since we want to be able to grab things, we're going to add this in. And before we move it around, I'll just add it as a child to camera 3D. And this is because when we look around with the camera, we want this raycast to be able to look at the correct thing. And so the best way to do that is just to have it in the same line of vision as this camera. So we'll bring this up, and we'll do this at 90 degrees, you can go under transform and set this rotation here for the this at 90 degrees, you can go under transform and set this rotation here for the x-axis at 90. And you can click here using this gimbly over here to get perfectly on this angle and just push it up over and we'll do this at 90. So
What do
we'll
you
bring
do?
this up and we'll do this at 90 degrees. You can go under transform and set this rotation here for the x-axis at 90. And you can click here using this gimbly over here to get perfectly on this angle and just push it up over to here. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'll actually bring it up a little bit more here so we have more room. And I'm going to set the length to -2 on the y-axis so we have a greater range. The length to -2 on have more room. And I'm going to set the length to here so we have more room. And I'm going to set the length to -2 on the y-axis.
Target position. Okay.
So we have a greater range for grabbing stuff. And I'm going to do Control Shift Save. And I'll go back here. I'll go under Player and I'm grabbing stuff. And I'm going to do Control and I'll actually bring it up a little bit more here so we have more room and a greater range for grabbing stuff. And I'm going to do Control Shift Save. And I'll go back here, I'll go under Player, and I'm going to just save it as player.tsc. Actually, just do player, I will put this script button here, scripts, so under the scripts folder, player, I will put script button here and rename it. Well, actually, for me, I will put this under scripts, so under the
Attach script. Scripts. Player. Player script. Hell yeah.
scripts folder, player, save it as player.gd. And so you're going to notice there is already a template for basic movement. So character, body, 3D, basic movement. So we can create this. And we already have some movement script for the player. So if we go back to our world and we click this little link, we're going to be able to add in an existing, and we click this little link, we're going to be able to add in an existing scene. We'll bring up the player a little bit so he's above the ground. We'll save by doing Control S, and we can click F6 or this little button here to test this specific scene.
How do I make it? How do I go down?
And so as you can see, we can move around, but you're going to notice that we can't actually control the camera at all. So we of course want to fix this. So I'll just close out of this. And one thing I also noticed is under project settings, we will maybe want to add in our WASD controls.
All right.
So click here in show built-in function actions, and we'll go under here starting at UI left. We'll click this little button and press A for our left and D for our right, W for up, and S for down.
Hold interact.
In show built-in function actions, and we'll go under here starting at UI left. We'll click this little button and press A for our left and D for our right, W for up, and S for down. So now we can close this down and we can head over to the player script. So for this demo, I'm just not going to include any jumping since for most of the gameplay, we're not going to need any jumping. But if you do want to include
I want to
jumping, just
include
leave
jumping.
jump velocity and this chunk of code inside of your code. So I'm going to activity and hold distance. Hold distance will just be how close the object is to the camera. And so since we already have here the distance of which the player can reach, you can influence the variable here. Okay, and so we'll also want to include these two onReady variables. And so this
Already. How do I?
is going to define the camera and raycast. As you can see here, there are these two dots here. There we go. So we'll want to add vertical rotation is going to influence the vertical rotation of our camera. And so we'll add in here our function ready. And so this is just going to capture the mouse, and we're going to be disabling our raycast by default. And this is because we don't need it to be on all the time. It will just constantly be checking things that it doesn't need to check. So whenever we press E to interact with something, it will enable it. Otherwise, it'll just be disabled. So we
Mm-hmm.
have here our unhandled input. And so we can just press cancel, aka escape.
It's going so fast. It's gonna rename these
Otherwise,
Smoothment.
and so we can just press cancel, aka escape, to it'll just be disabled. So we have here our
Damn. I don't know what unhandled him is. If event that is action pressed, I think UI cancel. UI cancel. Why isn't get mouse mode like included in like the auto thingy? Input that set mouse. Mouse mode visible. I think it should be else and captured. Input that set mouse mode. Capture. I don't really know what these mean, which is a problem. Rotate to Y. Clamp. What does clamp do? I think clamp is like the limit. I don't know, might be wrong. Vertical rotation. Return. We go back.
Unhandled input.
Press, interact.
And so we can just press cancel, aka escape, to lock in our mouse and to unlock it. And then this is just a chunk of code that allows us to control our camera. So if you want to change the sort of level of movement for the camera, you can change these two values here. This will influence the up and down amount. So this is a pretty good amount.
Yeah,
If you want it to
I
the
guess I
player
was
to
right.
be able to look all the way down and all the way up, you can just set these to 90. But I wouldn't recommend any more past this, since otherwise your character will be able to look behind himself. So for our next chunk of code, we're just going to replace the physics process. Now again, if you want to have your player be able to jump, then just keep this chunk of code here, but otherwise we're going to remove it and replace with this.
Oh my, replace everything. But this one's the same. This one's the same as well. Transformed with basis, it's the same. If direction, still the same. Move and slide, but he added if held object. And where's held object from? Oh yeah, this one. It's held, not hold. Global position plus. Times hold distance. I see. What does lerp do?
Statement, and we're essentially checking if the held object is not null, then we're going to hold it in front of our camera times the hold distance. Lastly, for the player script, we're going to add in handle interact. And so here we're checking if we have a held object. We're going to just drop it since we're pressing E again. We're going to
Oh. Drop. What does drop do? Drop down. Recast enabled. Force recast update. Not recast. That is. Git collider. If target has method pickup.
enable our raycast so we can check if there's anything in front of the player. So if it's not colliding with anything, it's just going to disable the raycast and return, aka finish the function. Otherwise, it will get whatever is colliding with it and is going to check this target, which is the collider, and check if it has the method pick up, which is the method, aka the function that our pickupable object slash box is going to have. And as you can see here, held object becomes this target.pickup, which is another function of this box that we're going to create. And we're going to disable raycast again. And this is because we don't need to have it anymore. All it does is just check, is there an object in front of us? If there is, then we pick it up. So if we were to leave this enabled, then it could cause some issues down the line. Okay, so we can do Control S to save this. And now let's create our box. So we're going to do a
We're
rigid
gonna
body
make a
3D,
box. Hell yeah.
and we'll just call this, so we're going to do a rigid body 3D, and we'll just call this, call it supply box, since that's what its intended purpose is going to be in the future. And we're going to add in a collision shape.
Supply box. Have I ever slid down the stairs in a box? That sounds fun.
Purpose is going to be in the future. And we're going to add in a collision shape. We'll make this a square, aka a box. And we're going to also add in a mesh instance to represent it. So we'll add in a box mesh. And we're going to save this, Control Shift S. And we're going to do supply box. We'll go back here under interact.
What? Interactables.
Interactables and scenes, and we're going to save this as supply box. And so now we're going to add in our script. So click here, and we'll just have an empty template script. We'll click their folder here, go back here, scripts, interactables, and we're going to save this as supplybox.gd and create. So now we can just include a variable called isHeld, and it's going to infer that this is a bool, and it is false. And we're going to have here our pickup function, and this is, as you've seen from the previous part of the code, what enables the player to pick up this object, the code. And freezing is
Freeze.
a part of rigid bodies in Godot that basically disables physics for the rigid body.
Make sure it's not
And
concrete.
so
What
we
happens if
disable
it's
this,
concrete though?
aka when it's unfrozen, it will do its physics like normal. And we'll also disable the collisions. That way it can clip through different collisions. That way we can carry around easily. But this will be enabled once again when we drop it.
Okay, funk drop. Funky. It's funky. Freeze equals false. Copy paste.
You can see we're unfreezing, it's not being held anymore,
It's
and
very
the
painful.
collision is now enabled. So we're pretty much all
Alright,
set here.
we
We can do
made box
Control S to
now.
save. And now we can go into our world and click here on our world. We'll instance a new scene and we'll add in our supply box. We'll bring
Okay, I can add our supply box.
the supply box up over here and we'll just save and we'll test run this specific scene.
Oh shoot. What have I done? Oh shoot. Glocal. Oh my god, I'm holding my box. Oh my god, look. My box! Ah, yeah, I can hold my... Alright.
So as you can see, now we can actually control our movement of the camera. And we have here a box, which if I press E, it's going to lift it up. Of course, there's no light right now, so it kind of is difficult to see with the harsh lighting, but we do have a functioning player controller that allows us to pick up boxes and just walk around in a pretty basic base plate. If you like this video or found it helpful, please do subscribe, leave a comment,
Alright,
and
let's
leave a
look
like.
at the
It helps
second
the channel,
video.
helps the video, and it
Part
shows that
2.
people want to see more of this series. So
Importing
for our next
models.
video,
Where
we're
they...
going to be adding in 3D models, lighting, as
Where,
well as
where
adding
am
in
I gonna make
shelves for our
models?
future tasks. Otherwise, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. 2 of our PS1 style horror game series. Today we're going to be creating our world, as well as adding in our shelves for future tasks, and we're also going to be adding in different lighting for parts of our world. So before we get started, we're going to want to make sure we have some models. Have some right here. I will include them in the description, so if you are following along with the series, you can just download these, drag and drop them into the file folder as I will right now. Before we start importing any
Oh shoot.
models, we're going to go under project settings, and we'll type in textures. And under textures, we'll want to go to default texture filter and click linear and then go to nearest. And this is going to increase the resolution of any of the models textures that you've imported. Otherwise, if you do want to have blurry textures, you can leave that as linear. So as you can see here, I added in 3 folders. These are going to hold in our models. So I'm going to really quickly open this up, and I'll select this folder for interactables, and I'm going to select aisle items 1 through 6. So here, and I'm going to shift click, and then I'm also going to control click this shelf GLB file, and I'm going to drag all this in while this folder is highlighted, and it's going to import. It'll just take a moment, but it's getting in all the textures and the models. And there we go, we have our files. And so now we're going to add in our world base plate. So let me just grab this really quick. It's going to be this. So this is coming from an asset pack made by El Bolillo. And so I'm going to just drop this in really quick and show you. I'll include the actual model that I used from, I think it's called Sketchfab. Not, I can't really remember off the top of my head, but
Gas
see right here,
stations.
you've likely seen some of his models from different games that other people have made, but this is going to be our base plate for this world. And so if we just drag and drop this in by clicking
Let me check. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Can I download? How do I download this stuff? In the trailer park. Oh, there, the gas station. Holy moly. Mm. Burger peas. Oh, download. Sign up with. Okay, I'm gonna avoid showing my details. I need Epic Games account. Oh my, what's my Epic Games account? You're banned from Epic Games? Why? What did you do? Stoof. Now there's textures. Oh my. Source. Now it's a winner. Let me extract. Um. How?
clicking instantiate child scene, and we do our base
The GLB?
merged in this world made, but you've not, I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I can show you right here.
Yeah, let me make a new folder here. Models. Well,
You've likely seen some of his models from different games that other people have made, but this is going to be our base plate. I'll include the
shoot. Currency manipulation. Oh my god, Pokers. What have you done? We're gonna save money on games.
actual model that I used from, I think it's called Sketchfab. Not, I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I can show you right here. You've likely seen some of his models from different games that other people have made, but this is going to be our base plate for this world. And so if we just drag and drop this in by clicking instantiate child scene, and we do gas station merged, we have here the actual world. But what you're going to notice
Holy
is
moly.
if we actually test run this and we try to walk somewhere, everything seems fine, right? Well, not quite, because we don't have any collisions. So going to exit out of there. So here's a common problem that a lot of people who are just getting to 3D come across, which is
Oh,
how do
shoot.
I create collisions for all these like little things? Like you can see here, there's just so many different edges and bumps, and then there's the doorways. Those cause a lot of issues. Well, basically, we're going to right-click this, which is our model that we just put in, editable children. And since I have completely merged all the basically static parts of this map, I can actually just select this and click on static, and this is our model that we just put in, editable children. And since I have completely merged all the basically static parts of this map, I can actually just select this and click on mesh. Before we do this, I'm just gonna really quickly get rid of our static body since we're no longer gonna
What?
need it.
Why does he only have
And
one
we're gonna
thing?
click on here, we're gonna click on
Oh,
mesh, create collision shape. And so what we're gonna wanna do is have a sibling, and we're actually static body child, because this is going to create a static body. And we want this to be
how does he
tri-mesh because
merge?
we have a lot of different complex shapes. So
Did
we'll
I miss did I skip a part?
seen some of his models, and so I'm going to now it's going to be this. Take a moment, but this shelf GLB file, and I'm going to drag all this in while this folder is highlighted, and it's going to import. It'll just take a moment. Oh, we have our files. Let me just grab this really quick. Back to the model.
It's merged from
Common
the
problem
start.
that a
I see.
lot of people who are just getting what
What
we're
if
gonna
it's
want to
what if
do
it's not
is have a
merged?
sibling, and we're actually static body child, because this is going to create a static body, and we want this to be tri-mesh because we have a lot of different complex shapes. So we'll
Hello,
create here,
Noel.
And now Godot has complete, so we want this to be tri-mesh because we have a lot of different complex shapes. So we'll create here. And now Godot has completely made us collisions for this map. And so if you, so we'll create here. And now Godot
Meshed everything. Maybe I can.
has complete, so we'll, and no longer going to create collision shape. And so what we're going to want to do is have a sibling. This is going to a lot of different, now complex shapes. So we'll create here. And now Godot has completely made us collisions for this map. And so if you want this to,
Did it
have
work?
less complex collision shapes here, like for here, for example, you can go into Blender and make these
Did it work? Okay, where's our player? Oh shoot, it worked! Hey! Look! Where's our box? I'm gonna put our box somewhere. The box! My, emotional support box. There you are. Wahahaha. Wahahaha. Wow! What happened? They do. Oh my god, it's so cool. When can we play this game? Oh no, the box! No, my box! There's no light. So it's a bit.
separate models, which I might do in a future video, but for our case, this will work. So we can test run this and see. We can actually walk on this surface. We can carry this box around, and I'll even just drop it here. Everything works fine, so I can clip this item through here, but I can't walk through this a wall here. However, we're going to run into our first issue here, which is that we can't walk through any doorways. And this is because of the player's collision being too wide. So we can just press stop running here. For my case, I can just set the capsule shape here to 0.45, and that should solve the problem. Since these doorways are pretty thin, we can just set it to that, and the player should be able to walk through it just fine. So I'll click run, and we'll just go down here really quick, and problem solved.
Oh, can I go inside my doors? Let's see if there's any doors here. Oh shoot, burger! Door! It's closed. Everything's so dark. I can't see it. It's so dark. Hello? Hello? Hello, guys. something here? Something's blocking. It's like there's something here. It's weird. It gets a little weird with the bushes part.
We can actually walk through the doorways, nice and easy, and you wouldn't want it to look like this since the map, of course, it's pretty dark in here, and you wouldn't want it to look like this since the map doesn't really have much readability. So we'll actually go ahead and fix this by adding in some lighting. So we can go ahead and create a new node 3D. So I'll just do that. And we'll call this gas station lighting, because in a future video, I'm going to want to control this lighting with a moment in the game where all the lights cuts off and the player has to go back here and turn on the lights with this breaker here. So I'm going to add in some spotlights. So I'll type in light, and we'll have several options. So we have an omni light, which will act like a light bulb or candle, as it says. And for our case, we want a spotlight such as a reflector spotlight or a lantern. So I'll add this in here. And we're going to bring this over to the gas station. So I'm going to rotate this to 90 degrees. We can go under transform, set this to negative 90 degrees, bring this down. And so far it's all right, but what we'll want to do here is bring this up and set it to where the spot, we can leave it at 5 here. What I'm going to change, however, is the angle. So it spans out to roughly 90 degrees. And then we're going to go under light, and we want to increase the energy for this. So now that we
Oh,
have this, we can duplicate them and just have them lying around. And so in a future video where we have to control these lights, we can actually run a script that goes through each child of this gas station lighting node 3D. And we can toggle all of them off to make it look like all the lights had just completely turned off. Okay, so next we're gonna add in lights for the outside. So I'll add another node 3D, and I'll do outside lights or lighting just to keep it consistent. And I'm going to duplicate this, put this in here, and then I'm going to bring out this light over here to the outside. And I want to make sure that this light
is it
has
gonna
a
be on
deeper
mobile?
range.
I don't know.
That way it can reach to the floor. Doesn't leave
If I figure out how
this
to do
area completely
mobile,
dark.
I
So
guess.
we'll set this to roughly 13. As you can see, it lights it up pretty nicely. All right, so now that we have our lighting, we can actually run this and see how it looks. So way more bright now, and we just need to change some things for the world environment. But as you can see, now we have some lighting for the outside, and if we go in here, the inside. And so far it's looking all right.
Shall also add lighting. Can I lock this or something? by written lore for the game yet? Not yet. Um, haven't really thought of it. How do I move? Like, come on, man. Let me move. There are some spots that should have lighting. I don't understand. Um, how to move around. This is WSAD and doesn't work, man. Shift F? Oh my god, finally. So I can put lighting. Spotlight. This right. Where are you? Why is it zooming too much, man? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm lost. I'm looking at the collision show. Range. Does this actually work? A bit doubtful. $6.7. Oh, come on, man. What is this centering then? I don't understand, man. Like, look, it rotates the entire world. Are they? Are they only? Because the world is large. See if the things work, the spotlights work. I'm not sure which one. Which one it was. There's a lot of spotlights here. There! Look! It has lighting. This one doesn't. The big world. Yeah. I'll continue this later. I'm just gonna continue the tutorial.
We could probably dim down the amount of energy that these lights are producing, since you can see it's very bright around here versus over here, but no problem for right now. And I also forgot to add some lights into here, so I'll do that later. But we're going to add in our shelves. All right, so next let's create our shelf. So I'm going to create a new scene, choose other node, and I'm going to go under static body 3D. And I'm just going to rename this to shelf. And I'm going to add in my shelf model, as you can see here. And I'm going to add in a collision shape 3D. So just collision shape 3D right here. And we'll do a very simple box. So it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be within the boundaries of this model. And after we do this, we can add in a label 3D to be exact. We can go under text and we'll call it empty. We'll bring it up a little bit and we're going to do flags and we're going to enable billboard. So now we can see that it's empty from wherever. And we're going to also add in a node 3D and we're going to call this item spawn. So the neat thing about what we're doing here is we're going to attach an ID to each shelf, and anytime this shelf is empty and we need to refill it with items, it can go into the correct model, and this will be the model that will be loading in, and it'll put it in its place and it'll remove this empty tag. So we can go ahead and save this, Control Shift S, and I'm going to have it under scenes, interactables, and I'm going to save it as shelf.tscn. And then under this, we're going to do a new script, and I'll do shelf.gd, and I'll click here, I'll go back. So I'm back in the main world here, and I set up my shelves here. And so you can look through and see that all of these would be full because I have it toggled as is full and shelves. So we can click here and set just rename this to seconds. And then we're going to add an area. We'll add this in to our shelf, but I'll do the script first. Getting the tree and then getting the root. So we're getting the very top of the scene. True, only the send to cast into, otherwise it's going to reset the restock, and that's because we want to make sure that if the, and as you notice, we have a thing called task manager, have different items. So this is aisle items 1, then this is 2, and over here we have the other ones, which are some chips. And let's go ahead and grab this box, And now that we're up close to it, we can hold F. And as you can see, there's a progress bar. So if we try to refill this and then look away, then it's going to stop. Of course, we might need to fix the code a little bit, but it's good for right now. So we can just refill this. And there you go. Now you have a bunch of cans here. And so I'll address some of the issues that we're going to be doing here, right around here. And essentially, this function here called get raycast target is going to, it's basically just going to make sure the raycast is enabled. It's going to force a raycast update, which basically is going to force it to activate and tell us what's going on. And it's going to just really quickly change a detail here, and I load it in. You have here this error or warning that is telling you how you have essentially too much embedded data in one of the files. And this is because we're using a .tscn file, which is going to embed a lot of the data, including for the models. And this may not be happening with you depending on what models you're using, but as you can see here, we're using a lot of textures here, and that's going to influence the amount of space that is being embedded into the file. So a nice simple fix for this is to go into your world scene, and we can actually, since we're on it, we can do Control Shift S, and now we can save it as a separate world. So I can do world 2, and I'm going to save it as a .scn file.
Hmm?
This is just going to be a base scene file, and it will not embed any data. We can press save. So now if I run this, I'm not getting an error anymore. And if we run it one more time, but with changing something, let's set this to 2. I'll run it again. You do not get an error anymore. And this will also help with performance anytime this specific scene is being loaded up. Thank you all for watching. If this, but with change, I'm not getting an error anymore. So now I'll run it one more time, but with change more, and is being loaded up. Thank you all for
I
watching.
see.
If this video is useful or helpful in any way, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also comment down any suggestions or questions you have, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I think this is good. Now I'm just gonna add some. Hmm. We're gonna add. We're gonna change the environment, I guess. It's too dark. And perhaps the lighting? Because you really can't see anything. Um, what is this? bit brighter. It's a little less darker. Okay. Now for now I'm gonna maybe add some monster AI. I'm gonna watch that later. The AI. Pathfinding. I'm gonna make a good. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, there.
Okay, so I've made a little horror game enemy AI demo for the Godot engine.
You made
The
a
enemy
demo?
has a roaming, chasing, and searching state. In its roaming state, it just travels to random positions around the map. If it sees the player, it switches to its chasing state. If it doesn't see the player for 8 seconds, it's gonna switch to its searching state. And then if it doesn't find the player for 10 seconds, it's gonna switch back to the roaming state.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see how it works. It's trying to make a scary monster. We'll put them maybe here. At the very end of the map. So we're gonna put monster. So this will be a character body 3D, right? Okay, we need, I think, a sprite 2D. Oh shoot, we need the texture. Okay, let's add a random monster. Maybe this one. Very terrifying. And I think collision shape. It's going to be a box, right? A box. The hell? They move this box. whatever. I think this works. Now we're gonna put AI in this monster. I don't know what this does, but I'm just gonna add them. Just I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm back. Yeah, I should add a sprint. Maybe I should add a sprint. Why is my player.gd? Then I should add like input map. Sprint should be maybe shift. Times speed multiplier. Hey, we have a sprint now. Okay. Where are monster? So we want our monster to move towards the player. How do I do it? I think it's this one. Wanted position. What's navigation agent? Navigation agent. Ah, so this one's pathfinding. I see. Ah, target position, right? And there's no play. Probably because my player is should be class name player. Right? I think it's like that. So for my monster player. Okay. Now be a nerd. Copy paste this. Hope this works. Where's the monster? Oh shoot, it's Don Quixote. What is she doing here? Not working, huh? Not chasing me. Done! What's up, man? Didn't work. Am I trying to recreate Gmod thingy? I don't know. It's just a placeholder monster. Since I don't have a... How do I do this? What's normalize? What does normalize do? I don't know if this... Hmm. It's not chasing me. So... I'm trying not to make this too scary because I'll get scared. If I want to continue this, I'll do it outside. Why am I making a horror game? I'm just trying to make this make the pathfinding work, so that I can change this later. Navigation mesh. Navigation.
This video is going to be an introduction to using the navigation tools that are built. Note, the navigation mesh is drawn above the ground as these are positions agents will want to walk towards. So you want the mesh to be near the center of your agent's body vertically. If the mesh was at ground level, whenever an agent tried to walk towards a point, their motion would have a downwards component, causing friction and slowing them down. You can change the height of this navigation mesh with the cell height property. Note 2. You will also notice this mesh doesn't reach the edge of our CSG Box 3D, and this is for the same reason as the height. Our agents will have a certain radius that affects their ability to move. If there was a wall at the edge of this floor space, and an agent walked all the way to the edge, they would clip through it depending on their radius. You can control the spacing at the edges of a navigation mesh with the agent radius property. Save the scene. I named mine navigationlevel.scene. With a floor to walk on, a navigation region, and a navigation mesh, we can now focus on creating an NPC capable of exploring the space. This character
I need a navigation mesh. Let's try that, I guess. There's no navigation mesh. Only obstacles.
Okay, so I've made a
Navigation region. So what does navigation mesh do? Does it chase us now? It's now that the navigation mesh. The house. No, he's not chasing. Okay. Navigation region 3D.
Character will need a character body 3D, mesh instance 3D, collision shape 3D. CSG shapes are the de facto node so the enemy can stand on the mesh later on. Add a new CSG box 3D node as a child of the navigation region 3D. Select the CSG box 3D in the scene tree, and in the inspector, set its size properties X and Y dimensions to 10 meters. Then enable the Use Collision property. I find it helpful to line up the top of the box with 0 meters on the Y-axis. Because the box is 1 meter tall, you can do this by setting the Y position to negative 0.5 meters. Now we have a mesh as a child of the navigation region 3D, we can bake a navigation mesh. Select the navigation region 3D in the scene tree, and at the top of the viewport you'll find a contextual bake nav mesh button. Click it and you'll see a teal mesh drawn floating above the CSG box.
Okay, maybe it chases us. I made navigation mesh. No, she doesn't chase. Okay, what did I miss?
3D. Note, the navigation mesh is drawn above the ground as these are positions agents will want to walk towards, so you want the mesh to be near the center of your agent's body vertically. If the mesh was at ground level, whenever an agent tried to walk towards a point, their motion would have a downwards component, causing friction and slowing them down. You can change the height of
Hello, Null.
this navigation for the thing, With a flying in body 3D, add a mesh property to a textual mesh button option. Navigation agent 3D node as a child. We'll communicate navigation agent server. Easier to navigate the debug tab and check the enables property. When we get to running levels, a line will be drawn in the viewport showing the paths the navigation agent 3D is trying to follow. Rename the character body 3D agent 3D is trying to follow. Line will be drawn up and check the enables property. When we get to running levels, a line will be drawn in the viewport showing the paths the navigation agent 3D is trying to follow. Rename the character body 3D root node to navigation NPC. Rename the
Funny Gooner horror games. We're gonna make one in the future. This is good.
the character body 3D root node to navigation NPC. Default name of the script that gets by default when creating a character easier to interact with that point and adapt it.
Can I make a mesh instance instead of sprite 2D?
To be an NPC, it will be easier to work with an empty script. After the in the scene tree, select the shape 3D with the contextual mesh button at the top of the viewport. Select the Create Simplified Convex Collision Sibling option. Set its mesh property to 3D as a child. Create the debug path. Find the debug tab, viewport, showing paths the navigate 3D root, naming the root node, check the glance. With we want to navigate an description, agent 3D, to tell the destination spacebar, we just explore nearest the navigation. When the navigating labeled and journey, but we need to create a navigation agent by then most straightforward and save the scene. I named it Navigation NPC Node. In the drop-down, select Instantiate Child Scene. This opens a dialog where we can add any scene we have saved as a child of our current scene. Select our navigation NPC from the list and click Open. The center of this NPC is in the floor, so we need to move it up to not click through. Select the navigation NPC and set its position's properties Y value to 1 meter. Alternatively, provided your object is above floor level, you can hit page down and the object will be cast down to floor level. Now, our NPC is in the right spot. We can add a camera 3D, world environment, and directional light 3D to see the AI in action. Click the 3 vertical dots at the top of the viewport and add a new world environment.
Hey, what's this?
Camera 3D, world environment, and directional light 3D to see the AI in action. Click the 3 vertical dots at the top of the viewport and add a new world environment and sun to the navigation level scene. Now, when we add a camera 3D, we'll be able to see what is going on.
So click on your main node in your main scene where your level is, and is equal to navigation agent dot. Make sure it's a child of the navigation region 3D. Before we can run it, of course, we need to set the player path. So click on the enemy, player path, assign player. Now we can run it. As you can see, they're following us and they're not getting stuck on obstacles. Then you click on the go back to our main scene. Normalized mesh. All of the green areas here is where the enemy can move. In this video, I will show you how to get started. First, let's start by making some basic enemies with and create a region 3D and navigation. So the wall and click on bake 2. I like to go to agents, click it again. This little decrease the height to 0.1, something like this. Now let's create our enemy now and move is a little bit bigger. 1. I like to go to agents and set the radius.
Hmm.
To something a little bit bigger, like 1. Bake it again. Just make sure the gaps between the wall and where the agents can move is a little bit bigger. Also go to cell and let's see, decrease the height to 0.1, something like this. Now let's create our enemy node. Create a new scene and make the character body 3D, the same as our player. But I'm gonna call my enemy. Material an enemy. A new material and I'm gonna make it with a collision mesh insert. This will create. I'm gonna call my. For now, where the player velocity variable to vector.0 to start, and then let's get our navigation agent. This node will basically find out where the player is, so our target. So we set the navigation agent set target's position is equal to player.global position. So this is where the enemy will want to go to. Is equal to player.global position. So this is where the enemy will want to go to.
Set target position.
And this creates a list of points that the enemy will move to in order to get to the position we want. So we're going to get a variable next navigation point is equal to navigation agent dot get next our velocity. Faster need to go back to our main scene and add our enemy. Make sure it's a
Enemy!
child of the navigation region 3D. Before we can run it, of course, we need to
He's
set
just
the
feeling a
player
little
path.
shy.
So click on the enemy, player path, assign player. Now we can run it. As you can see, they're following us and they're not getting stuck on obstacles. They're a little bit fast, so I'm gonna decrease the speed a little bit to maybe 4. The next thing we want to do is add a real enemy model with
Why is it
animation
not
a
working
little bit
though?
fast following us and they're not getting stuck on obstacles.
Wonder why. Oh wait, I think it's sprint. Says false. Why is it changing? Alright, guys, I'm not. Nothing's working right now. This is so sad. Or is it actually moving and it's just slow? I don't know. Is it moving? New velocity. Hey.
They're a little bit fast, so I'm gonna decrease the speed a little bit to maybe 4. The next thing we want to do, of course, otherwise the enemy will move or velocity. Of course, we need an navigation agent. Let's start by creating a ready. This will make sure we know where the player is. This node will basically find out where the player is, so our target. So we set the navigation agent to semi in order to get to the navigate to my normal make it. Run it. Of course, we need to set out of the navigation region 3D. Before we can run it, of course, we need to set the player path. So click on the enemy, player path, assign player. Now, the next thing we want to use goes to maybe 4. The next thing we want to do is add a real add.
Don't pass. Oh yeah?
And move and slide diagonal and do times speed to make
Hmm.
it a little bit faster. Lastly, of course, we need to call the move and slide function. Save it.
Maybe, what if I... What is this? Why are there two supply boxes? Wait. Oh. Let's make this 20. Oh no. Whoops.
Normalize we will move to in order to get to the position we want. Okay, of course, we need to make sure it's a child of the navigation region 3D. Before we can run it, of course, we need to set the player path. So click on the enemy. Player path, assign player. Now we can run it. As you enemy, player path. Assign. In this video, I will show you how to. So click on your main node in your main scene where your level is and create a region 3D, a navigation region. Code move set you out of the navigation. Oh, in this note, same as stereo an enemy. Less complicated codes related to nav. So let's note finger clear get good order points to be before we can run it. Of course, we need to set the player path. You click on the following us and run it. As you can see, they're following us.
Oh, there, use collision. Oh no, not that. Oh no. Does it work? Does it only work if I use mesh? I'm lagging. Now it works. It's chasing me. Holy. Help! I see. So I need a mesh. Holy. Wait. What if I go to world 2? And I maybe put the monster here. Oh, okay, where's the monster? Monster, how should I feel? Creatures lie here. Oh, does it chase us now? Oh, it's not chasing me. Oh, it's not working now. No, it's chasing me! Ah! Oh my god, it's chasing me! Ah! Oh my god. Now, how do I make it work on Don Quixote? On my first monster. So what we'll do is we make a mesh. Does it have to be visible though? You can make it the same as the collision, which is 10.76. Oh shoot. Nah. Perhaps like that. And then make it invisible. Does it chase us now? Doesn't seem like it. Don Quixote. Wait, it is chasing, but it's so slow. Hold on. Maybe it's just a bit confused. Maybe it was stuck in the ground. It's still not chasing us though. Is it because it's too big, perhaps? What if I don't make the mesh instance invisible? Bro! What's wrong, man? Maybe because it's too big. Oh my god, it's finally chasing us! Oh my god. What happened? She's chasing us now. She's moving! I'm gonna throw this box at her. Be gone! Oh my god, it just passed through the box! Okay, we need a game over. So that means that once it hit us, once she hit us, it's gonna show the game over screen, yeah, or something. So it's going to be what is it? 2D scene, user interface. Texture. This is going to be. Let's see. I might accidentally show some. Okay, there's nothing really. Oh, what's this? Actually, I'm just gonna use this instead. Hehe. And yeah, the one is affected by some walls. I guess since the collision is so small. Actually, let's use another image. What other image I have? Okay, I'm gonna use my Roblox. Oh my god, I have old pictures with me and my crush and my Roblox crush. It's someone I know in real life. I don't like him anymore. But this is funny. I kept trying to play Roblox with him back then. Because he keeps playing Roblox. Like, what the hell? There's to Sancho. It's a good idea. What? What the hell? Okay, let's look at my gallery. Oh no, I'm lagging! Mm. Alright, good night to you, Null. Gonna use like a canvas, I guess. Or something. How do I make it like just a simple color, you know? I don't understand any of this. Ah. Yeah, I don't understand this. So that's all I'll use. I'll just use an image. Let's see what images I have. A picture of me. Hold on. I saw like a I saw a nude. No! Look, it's me! I'm not gonna browse this. Might see something bad. I'm just gonna use a Roblox picture. It's fine, whatever. Game over. And I think that Where's the thing? Wait, it should be at the center, right? Whatever. Uh, and I think in this part, we put a signal. Where's this unreached player thing? How do signals work again? I forgot.
And they're not getting stuck on obstacles. As you see, I'm set it to at end 2. This is gonna be true. So in our run function right here, they start attacking you. But right now they're not looking at you, so let's fix that. The character body3D automatically has a function called the look at function. And we basically only have to give the factor 3 to look at. So the x-axis, we want to look at the player.global position.x. For the y-axis, we only want to just look at our own position, because otherwise the enemy is going to tilt forward and it's going to look really weird. And of course for the z position, we want to look at the
Oh, it looks at us now. Nice. It's in reverse though. Rotating dawn. Yeah, we can rotate now. We have... Hold on. Rotated. It's still not... Hmm. That's weird. I'll just flip it. Just whatever. Hey, hey! The next thing I'll do... Yeah, the signal thingy. How do I make it work?
Player again. And the last variable has to be a vector z-axis. So just go to the armature. As you can see, it's almost finished. Please save it. Let's run it again. In range, and it's gonna return a boolean whether or not the time. This is basically the time the animation is right here. To the animation tree basically. It's also automatically gonna switch states to this code right here. And in our attack, we're basically gonna do the exact same thing as here.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't know how the signal works.
In Godot, a signal is a message that a node emits when an event occurs. Other nodes can connect to that signal to execute a function when the signal is emitted. Godot provides a number of built-in signals for each node. You can check the signals of the selected node in the node doc. Let's take an example. Here we have a button and a sprite. I want to make the sprite rotate 90 degrees every time the button is clicked. Let's take a closer look on how we can achieve this. The button emits a signal called pressed when it is clicked. All we have to do is connect the signal to a method that exists on the sprite node. When the signal is emitted, this method will be invoked and it will rotate the sprite. There are mainly two ways to connect to a signal in Godot, through the UI or through the code. For the UI method, first select the node that emits the signal. In our case, it is the button node. Then go to the node dock and double click on the signal you want to have a connection with. In this case, it is the signal called pressed. Lastly, in the window that shows up, select the receiver node and the function that will be executed when the signal is emitted. We want the receiver node to be the sprite. We will call our receiver method rotateSprite. Finally, we can put our code inside this function. Now when we run the C,
So click on your main node in your main scene, finish your hit animation arrow. Now what happens if you set it to edit and state in our filter, attack function. It's called target in range and distance to the player is smaller than 2. This is gonna be true. So in our run function right here, we're gonna smaller vision whether or not the player is close enough. So it's gonna return global position to distance 2 players before us.
Close. Like, how do I make the signal, like, you know?
Start coding our attack. Let's create a new function. It's called target in range.
In Godot, a signal is a message to be the sprite. We will call our receiver method rotate sprite. Finally, we can put our code inside this function. Now when we run the scene, it works as expected. Let's disconnect the signal and try the code method. First, we need to get a reference to the node that emits the signal. We can use getNode to get a reference to the button node. Make sure you're writing this code in the script attached.
Should have an emit here. Right? Hello, Ghosty's place. Check if What do you want the game to be? I'm just learning, so I'm not. I don't know. I don't really know anything. Reached. A jump scare of Dawn kissing me. Hell yeah! Where can I find a kissing Dawn? Okay, let's see if the collider works. Please work. The collider, I think, worked. There are a lot of errors, huh? Hey. Ah. Oh no, it didn't work. No! I'm so dumb. It's supposed to be that. Try again. Let's run towards Dawn. Hey, man. Hey, game over. Okay, okay. Uh, oh, shit. Oh my god. What was that? What if we made a game that hates the player, does not make them feel good for passing an obstacle? Hold on, let me get my meds. I'll be back. I got these meds. So I'm supposed to take them. These are antipsychotics. No, 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 no. Your suggestion is good. I'm actually thinking about it. If I get good at making games, I'll consider making like that kind of game. A game that just makes you feel guilty for playing. Okay, we just need to. I swear, there's one in. Yeah, yeah. Download already exists. I already downloaded it before. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I did download it before. I did. Hold on. Let's change the game over screen. Why is the world here? Hold on, let me create a new folder. The world. Okay. This one. Right. Then for the game over screen. Let's change this to this. Hello there, Timmy people. I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. Coming. Run! Oh no. Looks like we cannot fit the thing. It's too powerful. Why is it trying to rotate? Run! Game over. Yeah, it's Magical Girl Sancho. Beach Bomber! Anyway. Okay, I think I'm ending the stream here. The meds are making me a bit sleepy now, so it's time to sleep. And that's my epic game. I'm going to do more in the future. I will try to make I will try to be better at making games. Well, that game was horrible. That game was bad, like really bad. It sucks. So yeah. That's all for today. If ever I make a better game, I'll let you guys know. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.